All right, everybody, welcome to the stream tonight. We're going to be bringing you my own personal scrims, which I host every single Wednesday at the same exact time. Thank you for all the follows so far over there on Trovo, guys, and we're going to go ahead and get round one underway. We're going to be going from Novo all the way down to the Primorsk area. Definitely not a ideal line to go ahead and start our first round. Hopefully they can go ahead and make do with the jump line that they have, and hopefully we can get some action right off the bat for you guys. So, first abundance of teams jumping out right above the Milta area. As far as I can tell, a bunch of them heading to the north. We still have quite a few teams still left inside. Getting another bunch jumping out right above the Ferry Pier area. They appear to be heading north as well. So I do expect to see some teams right around the Gaka area, as well as, well, are they going to go shelter? Or are they going to continue going? What's up, Skittles? Thank you for chilling in over there on my YouTube channel. And thank you, Ghost Rider, for the Twitch over or follow over there on Twitch. Let's see if we can go ahead and get right into this one. It does look like we're going to go ahead and get our first knock of the game. Going to have to wait for the game to catch up just a little bit. I'm not sure. I think it's been, just this season that this has been happening, where literally as soon as the first person I click on, the game kind of lags out for like, what, 15 seconds from what you just saw right there. And then it just kind of lets me go about my way, even though stuff's happening in that little intermission right there. So they were able to get their team player back up. Hopefully they can go ahead and get him some health real quick. Let's go ahead and check in with Team 24 down here really quick and see what they're currently up to. Center's going to go ahead and peek the wall right here on the outer side of it, try to play some shots onto Acid as he goes ahead and crosses the street. We could see a little outnumbered action right here, looking at a 4v2. I'm not really too sure where the rest of the team is, though. Oh, you're good, Paranoia. I have all custom overlays, so during intermission I have the one that you saw, I have the starting soon, I have the offline, and the live one you're currently looking at. I'm wondering when this parachuting noise is going to go away in my ears. Usually it doesn't last this long. But first zone for this one's going to be pretty much all the military, a good portion of the center island. Most of our team is going to be pretty split up from each other, but we do have a good assortment of teams right there around the GAC area, like I was saying. So they're all going to be looting those smaller compounds, and there goes that parachute noise. So definitely grateful that finally went away. Now I can actually hear footsteps and everything. So I see TFG coming through the kill feed right there. It looks like they happened to catch somebody off guard as they were running out in the open and got the vehicle knock. Definitely not the ideal way to go out, especially this early. If I were them, I would probably be cursing quite a bit right now. I mean, as soon as I got here, it kind of looks like they were able to go ahead and save their players from getting thirsted. So at least something fortunate came out of the situation for them. So hopefully they can go ahead and get those players back up before the other guys decide to go ahead and push in. They're going to end up crashing into the rocks right there. And they're going to push up from the right-hand side. Hopefully, you can go ahead and get at least one of these revives off real quick before they go ahead and push up all the way. And Steezy's going to go ahead and chill on the rock. Ends up coming off. Fortunately, gets picked off right there from a mismatch. DP is not the ideal weapon to go ahead and push with due to the bullet lag. And TFGs end up pulling off the complete 180. So from what you saw from the kill feed, it did look like, I believe it was what, SUS, if I remember correctly. Not 100% positive on that one. But they went ahead and started off with 2 knocks, and that's when we happened to go over and spectated on the rest of it. So very nice job to those guys with coming back in the battle. Let's see if I can go ahead and find these guys really quick before this one ends up. Let's go ahead and check in with STK. And they are going to be taking on Team 14 over here at the school apartments. So going to get here with Goku currently knocked. And there's going to be Wookie as well as Astro back in the building behind these guys. I'm sorry, Ghost Rider. I definitely didn't kick you, dude. Promise it was just the room glitch. So Rico is going to be chilling on the other apartment. I didn't even see him right there on the right-hand side unless he wasn't up on that rooftop as soon as I came over here. So right now they do have this team pretty much boxed in, so they can't go anywhere at this point. So they're going to go ahead and try to toss some nades out there, try to get some lucky knocks to go ahead and get something started for them. Let's see how many. So they're pretty much holding their own though after that initial knock and the thirst from Team 25. Beach trying his best to go ahead with the knock on a recoil with a nade. And that second one definitely a lot closer than the first. And that one is going to get the distance on it. And it's going to be a little bit of a damage loss from the nade. And ended up the rest of the damage coming from the DP. So they're going to go ahead and get the initial knock onto him. That's going to allow them to go ahead and now push forward freely. Answer up with a second knock. This one falling onto Astro. Was an initial trade. What? Recoil for, I can't see his name right here. Maybe Apache. Not too sure on that one. But it does look like Wookie's going to go ahead and move in for the revive onto Astro. Definitely a wise choice. Because that revive is definitely going to go off first. I do suspect that they're going to go ahead and push off that one. And they're going to get a nade through the top stairs. Go ahead and re-knock Astro. And we're going to see a knock right there coming from the Uzi from, what is that, Kriz over there. And that's going to fall on Wookie. And that is going to be it for Zero Excel in our first round. So very nice job right there to, what is that, Stay Woke, I believe. So they're going to go ahead and start this round off pretty early with 4 kills. In the meantime, let's go ahead and check in over here with, I believe it's Team Unknown Gaming. They're currently going to be moving up on Sexy MFers. So I believe they're going to start things off with a knock right there on the Deadshot Royal. And I can't really read the other dude's name, but they have split to where this team really can't move down inside of Mansion without getting knocked. They're going to use, I'm assuming, saw him running over for the revive, so they know at least the left-hand side is going to be a little bit open. Royal definitely needs to be chilling on that roof or that balcony, preventing these guys from moving over. Hopefully he can go ahead and provide the cover through the windows right there as they try to go ahead and push over. If I was these two guys right here, I'd probably be staying on this back wall right here just so my one teammate right here can go ahead and cover fire me if need be. And Speedy coming out with a knock with the nade. And they're going to go ahead and move in. Out comes a Thirst onto him. And here comes the second knock. This one falling onto Deadshot. So it's all going to be down to Royal now. And here comes the team swarming in. He's going to go ahead and avoid the first shots right there from Fake. And I think that says Bubba ends up jumping out the back window, coming in and hitting him right in the back. And that is going to eliminate the rest of, I think it was what, Team 6 Sexy MFers. So very nice job to those guys. In the meantime, let's go ahead and check in over here with DN1 Frag. I thought I saw one of their members coming through the kill feed with a knock, and I thought it was funny, but I believe Whale over there is going to go ahead and answer back with a knock onto Knockout. Hopefully she can go ahead and crawl back up, get the revive. Unfortunately, they're going to be rocking a 3-man. Unfortunately, I think, yeah, Ghost Rider said in the chat, he got kicked out literally just as soon as I started it, so sometimes this game is definitely irritating. And here comes another knock. This one coming from Legit Brit. She's going to get a knock onto one of the players over there inside the smoke. And I believe Knockout now landing some very good shots onto Whale on the left-hand side. The rest of the team's going to go ahead and push into the smoke. Might be a little late to do so. You only have about 6 seconds or so to go ahead and push off of a knock. So they're going to go ahead and bail into the smoke. And unfortunately, they both go ahead and get knocked right off the bat. And Funny gets a knock onto Mob for life. What's up, BBK? How you doing? So next zone, really going to be just a smaller version of what we currently just saw. Looks like we're getting a cluster of teams just around the bridge area, just below farm. And let's go ahead and check in with Team 19 over here. You can see a bunch of teams pretty close to them. They're in pretty much every compound around them, so they're not really going to have a whole lot of opportunity to just go ahead and venture up from where they're currently at. It's pretty much every angle is covered. I do see one of their teammates rolling in. Hopefully he can go ahead and keep that vehicle safe, get that thing inside of the garage just in case they need it later. See how close these guys are actually together. So we got a team in the blue 2-story behind. Another full team directly in front of them in the one-story compounds to their north. And we're going to see Outplay Esports all the way on the beach area with the biggest compound of them all. With this zone, they might actually fare out pretty good on this one. We could see from looking at the map right now, as the zone went ahead and shifted, Team 13 definitely has a very, very good spot in this zone. Rule of thumb is if you don't really want to go ahead and guess where the next zone's going to, just aim for the middle. You have a very high percentage that at least a little of where you're at is going to be in the next zone, but it's never really as easy as it seems. So a lot of teams will go ahead and see play edge zone. They'll want to go ahead and see where it shifts to. More, I guess, assertive teams, you'll go see straight to the middle, and everyone else in between will be right in between, sandwiched between them. So that's where you'll see pretty much a lot of your action is people driving into the new zone and all of them chilling on the outside edge. So it's very hard to get through that outside edge once every single team moves in. A lot of the times, especially with, I'd say not even lower tier teams, you see them in T1 scrims too, where a lot of people play edge zone just to see where it goes to. But if you go ahead and rotate early, you're definitely guaranteed at least a safe passage through. Whereas if you go ahead and rotate all the way at the end where their zone's trying to rotate in, there is a very high probability that you're going to run into probably a line of people. So we're seeing a knock come out from Team 11 over here. Let's go ahead and check in with these guys. Wasn't really paying attention to the kill feed, but they definitely got a knock on one of the players up there. Possibly came from 7 Cents. Who else we got? So southern side of this zone, definitely going to be jam-packed with all of our teams, as well as the western side. I do see some action going down right here between STK and TFG. We're going to get here just at the absolute last second, and I was not able to rotate over to these guys, but between Apache and Beach, they ended up taking out the last 2 players from TFG, going ahead and getting them some more loot, and that now brings us down to our final 14 teams. I believe we came in with, I think, 21, so we've had a good percentage of our teams out. I think we went in with like 84, 85 people this round. I still just can't believe that the whole, like, literally the whole northern side of this zone, there's absolutely nobody. Definitely assuming that with what they saw out of the zone, with it having military pretty much the whole entire game, that there was a very high probability that this one was going to go ahead and shift down to that way, or at least stay right on the beaches. So that's probably why we're seeing the abundance of teams right there on the beach side. But now they're going to go all in, have to rotate to the north. Currently, we only have 2 teams into this next zone. We do have 2 teams pretty close. They're going to be right on the very edge, so they won't really have to go too far. Other than that, we're not really going to have a whole lot of hard cover for the teams. It does look like Team 13 is going to move in and gain the hard cover just in front of them. Only other thing other than that is going to be little shacks all around the dirt road, and then just some natural dips and crevices, and that's probably going to be about it. So Kraken trying to one-shot that AK right there, trying to put some bullets down range onto Team 20 over there. Not sure if, well, he's going to take one to the face right there, and that is now going to make his level 2 helmet basically down to nothing. You did good though, Funny. You guys had some good knocks. So we're going to see a bunch of people rotating into the zone. This is normally where we see the highest amount of deaths. It's either this one or the one after. I usually nickname it the death zone. As you can see, we're checking in with SDK over here. They're going to just chill right on the edge of blue, just farming these kills from people trying to rotate in. So this is definitely one of the ideal situations that I always recommend, guys. If you do have a good spot in the last zone, just literally fan out, just stare at the blue zone, but definitely be very, very cautious with all these dips and crevices right here, especially with the rocks and the trees. You don't know if you're going to be blindsided by anything, but this is definitely how you get your kills at the end. Just wait for the teams to go ahead and just try to rotate in late, just pick up a spot. As long as you got some hard cover, you should definitely be pretty good and come out with at least what? We saw them get at least 3 right there. So we still have 10 teams still up. Good abundance of these teams have not gone ahead and rotated to this zone yet. We're still seeing the initial 2 teams. I believe it's Team 17 and Team 12 battling it out between the 2. It does look like Team 12 was able to get a knock on one of them, so that's going to go ahead and stop their progress for just a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and see Team 13 placing some shots down range onto, I believe, main. Haven't seen it come through the kill feed to see if they got the knock or not. Could have been Outplay Esports right over there for Team 5. They're only going to have about 20 seconds to go ahead and make their rotation forward. Team 13 is going to be the closest one, so if they go ahead and rotate now, get a good spot, especially in the little dip or crevice right here, they should be pretty good for the people above. Especially if they use those UASs for some hard cover just up above them. They can definitely just chill back here and go ahead and keep Team 4 for coming through. So Nova ends up overextending for a too long period of time, lands a bunch of good shots on a spray, but just wasn't able to get the knock, and ends up paying for just staying out too long, and one of the members from Team 11 ends up knocking him in return. Let's rotate up to the top of the hill over here. Check in with Team 15. Currently, Church and Acid are going to be knocked. Their team's going to be moving in for the revives as we speak. Does look like they were successfully able to fend off the team that went ahead and pushed them. So let's go ahead and rotate back down. And let's see what Team 17 is currently up to right here in this guard shack. Most of these teams now going to be moving into their location, trying to make their way up the hill. We're going to be seeing 1, 2, 3... I believe 5 teams directly below them, so they could technically just sit here and farm off all these kills from them trying to rotate forward and then just rotate into zone late, considering they're literally right there and all they have to do is push up to this little cliffside. Hey, how's it going? So it does now look like Outplay Esports was able to get their knock member back up, but we do see Trix pushing down the hill as well as his teammate Spec not too far behind him. We're going to go ahead and see these two teams right here face off, but unfortunately Trix already taken a bunch of damage from the zone, but does turn around, get the knock on a red, but that is now going to be 2 knocks right there onto them. Spray very low on health as well. And don't know if he can get that revive off up there in time or not, but it does look like they're going to go ahead and get eliminated. That now brings us down to our final 5 teams. We're going to be looking at Outplay Esports right here for Team 5. Whale's going to go down as soon as they go ahead and crash the tree right here. And where is their other teammate? So our Pulse is going to be outside of the zone. He ends up being... well, ends up going out right there. I believe that is now going to put us down. No, there's still one up. Kraken. Did not see him back there. We're literally on the edge of the zone, healing up inside of that smoke right now. So Team 12, we're going to be looking at Aqua with a solo, Outplay Esports in front of us with a duo now. Team 13 rocking around. That's going to be Bloodthirsty with a trio. And up on the hill, I believe it's going to be Hated. And Team 17's rocking a solo. That's going to be Team Unknown Gaming. What is that? Halud, maybe? Getting a double kill right there onto Outplay Esports, eliminating them from this round. That's now going to bring us down to our final 3, and a very, very long nade toss right there from Kraken. Hit the tree, bounce back, and it was honestly right on point. It just happened that there was a little bit of hard cover for them to go ahead and retreat behind. But other than that, that Hail Mary throw was definitely on point right there. So Kraken ends up taking down 1, and at least he's going to go ahead and get his team second place in this one by just being very patient right there at the end. And we're going to go ahead and see Team Hated go ahead and bring home the victory in round number 1. How many kills is that? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15 kills. So definitely not bad to get a first round victory and 15 kills. So stay tuned, guys. We'll be right back. I'm going to take a short break. Go ahead and get the next room set up. We'll be back with Miramar next round, so just stay tuned. Hi guys, welcome back for round number two. Like I said, the last round we are on Miramar this round. Definitely a decent plane line though. We're gonna go from La Cabrera all the way down to just outside of Puerto Paraiso. So should definitely be some decent jump patterns off of this one. Hopefully we can still get some teams jumping together off the bat. Miramar is definitely a hell of a lot bigger than Erangel, so usually it does take some time to go ahead and get the I guess the later battles underway. You might get a couple right off the bat, and then there's kind of that lull right in the middle until the zone ends up pushing everybody right together for probably, I'd say, uh, 2 zones from now, when they'll probably have to travel a couple thousand meters for the first one. Hopefully a lot of these teams end up being zone blessed though, so we don't see a bunch of long rotations. It's definitely not the ideal situation to go ahead and have to travel that far, but sometimes that loot over there in Campo Militar definitely makes it worth it. So first zone, we're gonna have all the way to the south. Pretty much well, vast majority of our team is gonna be all the way to the north. It's kind of weird. I don't see a lot of teams jump up this way. They kind of stay around the Los Leones area because that's where the zones tend to kind of favor for the first pop. So Basic gonna go ahead and run over here, gets the knock and the thirst on, I believe, Ray. Let's see if dead shot. No, I thought he was going to be able to hold them off from going ahead and pushing on him, but other dude ended up having a full auto, making it a lot different than going up against a shotty at some distance. So TFG is in the vicinity of these guys as well. They're going to have the high ground over top of them. Unfortunately, there is not a vehicle I see in the general vicinity of these guys. There might be one over there. I can't tell if that's blown up or not, but it does look like it's facing the east, so it may be a spawn. And he goes ahead and pushes into the open. Definitely not a wise move. You try to get to as much cover as possible. Fortunately enough, Basic was able to get the knock onto at least one of the TFG guys, and he's going to go ahead and start pushing forward. And we're going to see some shots landed from Nike over here. Can Salty go ahead and hold him off with just that little bit of HP? Nike should have definitely been placing shots. His back was completely open. So he's going to go for another thirst right there. Toxic crawling down the hill. And looks like he's going to go for the revive off the bat. And Basic is just on the other side of this thing. I don't know what he's doing. I guess he was looting that crate. So we're up to a 2v1, and he ends up getting the knock right there on the Nike. Toxic not going to have any time to go ahead and heal back up. All right, Basic's going to go ahead and get that thirst as well. And down goes Basic. So Toxic was able to get the knock even with low HP. So very unfortunate, but Basic definitely putting in some good work right there. Let's see how many he actually went out with. So team's got 5, and I want to say he had at least 3 or 4 of those. So very nice job on his part, though. Hopefully the rest of his team can go ahead and stay alive for late game to go ahead and make up for the loss of those teammates early in this round. And Aqua now moving into the area as well. I'm definitely guessing they heard these shots. They're looking right at them. He's got to see Toxic right there jumping around on the top of the hill. He's going to go ahead and lay down with that 4 times. Let's see if he can go ahead and get some of these bullets connected. Oh, he's got that all day. He needs to take that. Kind of looked like it was a one shot from a scar. Unless that was just like crazy desync or I didn't hear the bullets. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and just rotate out, see what everybody else is currently up to. I believe at this point our teams are going to be spread enough far apart to go ahead and give them some breathing room. Actually, take that back. Let's go ahead and check in over here with Team 18. And right in front of them is going to be Team 8. Let me pull my teams list up really quick. So Real Goat's going to be just in front of these guys, currently spectating in with Team Strangers. As far as I can tell, both teams going to be full strength. Real Goats has just a tiny bit of the height advantage, having the bigger building. But as we can see with Strangers, they're going to be a little bit more spread out. Fire and Fury is going to be all the way off to the southwest. Ayush is going to be in the building just across the street. And we can see Hollowcast is now going to be rotating into the bottom floor of their compound. And Wolf is going to go ahead and remain in the compound he initially came from. So, as you guys know, every single week I do preach this over and over. Angles tend to win fights. So, at this point, I gonna kind of side with Team Strangers with just the amount of angles they have. Grouping up with definitely how close these guys are, not the ideal situation. Fortunately enough, Shin is going to be down one floor with Snippy, but they may just be far enough apart to go ahead and not really have a whole lot to worry about. Go ahead and check in with him, see what we can see from his TPP peeking angle. So we can see Fire and Fury has gone ahead and rotated up to the compounds on the very top of the hill over there. So now the height advantage has now gone ahead and changed from Real Goats to Team Strangers. Let me see what we can go ahead and see from Fire and Fury's angle on this one. Hopefully this man's got a pretty high-powered scope to go ahead and land these shots downrange. Fortunate enough to have the 6 times, so can definitely do some damage on these guys. We can see Manny right there landing some shots onto him, but in turn he did land some shots on the both of them, causing them to go ahead and retreat. And I don't know why. I swear I heard footsteps, but I'm guessing it's from him just moving back and forth slightly, but it definitely sounded like an enemy to his left-hand side. It's definitely trippy right in the middle of those shots. So we're going to go ahead and see zone push in now. Both these teams really not going to have any option but to go ahead and figure this out. You never want to go ahead and fight in the blue unless you absolutely have to. Um, One of these teams is going to go ahead and have to get a knock to start something off. If not, I hope they have enough nets to go ahead and outlast one another. Um, we're going to go ahead and see the next zone pop. Where does this one shift to? And it's going to go to the southwest. So we have just a little bit of water in it. Very tip of the island over there for Minas del Sur. We'll probably see Team 17 go ahead and rotate through those bridges right there on the left-hand side into Valley de Mar. then this northern side of this zone definitely going to be crazy with all these teams rotating down at this point. So we see a knock onto Loki. Here come the shots from Fire and Fury up there trying to get the thirst for his teammates. And here comes this jump down from Wolf. Kind of looked like he was about to back off, but it now looks like they're going to go ahead and try to attempt to push this one. We're seeing a knock onto Manny now. Hopefully Loki. Yeah, he's going to go ahead and get the heal off. And this might be a third player going ahead and pushing up into that building. For a second, it kind of looked like there was a team directly underneath of them. Over here, we're going to go ahead and see DN1 end up being rotating on by Mindless Outlaws. Ghost Rider trying to make it away down to very low on HP. They do have that angle right there from the hill, and he should be at a render distance by now, so hopefully he goes ahead and makes it away. But I believe he's going to go ahead and turn back around to the compounds. So we're finally seeing a push forward from Holocaust and them. I'm seeing some knocks come through the kill feed. And Shin coming out with a knock onto Wolf. Where is the last player? So he's going to be chilling over here. And that is now going to be it. Real Ghost putting up a fight right there at the very end. And I think they ended up taking one with them in the process, though. So in the meantime, let me check in with a couple teams over here on the northern side of this border. We do see one of the players for Team 2 hopping out just on the backside of the bowl right here. Red's probably communicating that back to his team, and it does now look like Adrian's going to go ahead and hop into that vehicle and push back towards his team. Definitely the smart decision right there. And I believe they're just going to go ahead and continue rotating down the road. Uh, I definitely never recommend edge zone. A lot of the times it's just because you're going to be chasing zone the entire time. So you might as well just try to push just a little bit farther in, try to get not in the very center, but offset from center anywhere around the circle. Other than that, I don't really like going middle. I don't like going edge zone. You just got to find that middle ground in between the two. And 90% of the times, you should be good. So right now, Broda going to be stuck in between a rock and a hard place trying to rotate forward to his team. Just below him is going to be one of the Mindless Outlaw teams. Up above going to be DN1 Frag. Hopefully he's going to have some cover right here in these dips and everything. Other than that, it's definitely... Bad situation right here, being cut off from the rest of them. Hopefully they end up getting their focus drawn away so he can go ahead and make his rotation away. But as you can see, they're placing some shots onto his vehicle right here. And he's going to go ahead and continue rotating up the hill. Doesn't look like they successfully landed. Well, spoke too soon. They landed 2 or 3 right there. Zone's now going to go ahead and center up on this one, right around the Chumacera area. So definitely a lot of good spots in this zone. If Aqua goes ahead and continues pushing forward, that hill right there, just outside of Chumacera to the north, definitely a badass spot to go ahead and take over. So I do expect to see a team up there. Other than that, where we're seeing Shootout Esports right there for Team 4 to the right-hand side, definitely a nice compound to go ahead and secure for themselves. And Team 15 is going to have the higher ground in the Chumacera area. They're going to control the back end where the, the 2-story brick buildings are right outside of the mountain ranges. And let me go ahead and check in with STK real quick. Thank you for the follow, Illegal Kids. And we're going to go ahead and see these guys taking on Team 15 up there, just to the right-hand side. They're also going to have to worry about Team 17, so they're kind of stuck right in the middle of this one. Team 15 is just third-partying the shit out of these guys. Smokey Joe coming out with the nade, just happens to not time it long enough, ends up rolling by these guys. Definitely would have had probably a confirm and a knock off of that one. If not, it may have done that little extra damage to Fake since he was so close to it. And here comes the rest of his teams. They're now going to roll up. Definitely not in the ideal spot to go ahead and crash that, though. Like, direct line of sight from Team 17. I'm surprised nobody got knocked in that situation. And let me rotate over here to Hacks Red really quick. I see DN1 Frag taking these guys on. Couple knocks coming out. Currently, Legit Brit and Knockout down. And it is all going to be down to Ghost Rider. We're looking at a 1v1. And Senda ends up bringing it home for his team at the very end of it. Very nice attempt on the part of DN1. I believe they ended up getting 1 out of that, I recall. So coming very close to getting the wipe, though. So next zone pop, going to go ahead and shift down to the very outside of Chumacera. I believe we're going to see the church in this one. I think Team 11's chilling over there at that one. And we're going to go ahead and see the teams rotate around, coming in right here to Hacks Red. And that's going to be Team 20 rotating down the hill. And they're going to go ahead and crash the compound directly in front of them. Expert ends up crashing into the broken down vehicle, ends up getting knocked right here by one of the members from Hacks. And well, hopefully that didn't mess it up too much, but it does look like that one ended up getting stolen by one of the members up there for Team 15. Definitely unfortunate. Hacks putting in all the work and ends up getting stolen at the end. Where are my other teams? We're about to see these two go ahead and rotate into each other. Looks like Adrian's going to be chilling on the top of the building right there. Ends up being taken down by the play zone. That's going to be an easy confirm right there for Pollux as he goes ahead and pushes forward. So that's now going to put their team up to 3 kills. And let's see if they can go ahead and make it into zone before they end up getting a knock. Taco Cass ends up not making it. And that is it for VQ in this round. So these two teams at this point definitely going to have to make up their mind. They're going to have less than a minute at this point to go ahead and figure out what they want to do. They're not going to have the ability to go ahead and rotate away without losing at least one person. We're going to go ahead and see Hacks go on the offensive. They're going to go ahead and start this off with a knock from a nade coming from Send It. That's now going to give the ability to go ahead and push forward. All three of them now going to be on the first floor. It does look like Cosmo's going to go ahead and attempt the revive before they go ahead and push up. They did do the smart maneuver right there, go by mollying the stairs. It's going to go ahead and force them to wait before go ahead and pushing forward, and gives them definitely enough time to get that revive back off. And he's definitely going to get the heal in now too. So at this point, those guys are definitely going to want to reset. Who's that? Oh, that's Aqua in the background. I forgot. So Cosmo ends up taking down Kraken and Arpul, so that's going to be it for Aqua. So ends up just taking a little bit breather, getting some right in the end. Broda coming around the right-hand side, coming in with a knock on Cosmo. And Broda taking down, what's his name? Cosmo and Tuffy, both with the Uzi. So Hack's getting a couple kills right there. That's going to put them up to 8 so far this round. And next round's going to go ahead and pretty much just centralize up right in the middle. So first team we're going to see in is going to be Team 19. That is one of the mindless outlaw teams. We'll go ahead and check in with these guys real quick. It does look like Saber ended up jumping out of vehicle too soon and ends up getting knocked. It kind of looked like he might have been the last one alive for his team, because from what I saw from the kill feed, it looked like he got thirsted. Seven Sins getting the knock right here onto Richie. And it's going to be same clan going against each other. So looks like he's going in for the thirst with the nade. That's going to go ahead and bounce off the very tree. Other than that, that probably would have been a confirm and a knock onto Cyanide at the same time. So Team 4 going to have fun getting into the zone. They're going to crash right on the backside of the wall. Hopefully they can go ahead and pop some smokes to break off the line of sight over there from Team 2. And I believe, what is that? Mimi getting knocked in the process, coming out of that vehicle. And they are just outside of the zone. They're going to go ahead and have to push forward. They don't have any hard cover right here on top of them. So if Church plays this right, he could actually probably outlast quite a few of these teams. He's going to be the only one in the zone at this point, so every single team is going to have to rotate towards him. Best thing for him is they're going to have to push for the open, so we could see a couple vehicle explosions, and we could lose probably a majority of the teams during that rotation. There we go. Team 11's going to go ahead and hop in their vehicles, make the rotation forward. They have gone ahead and pre-smoked. And Church ends up getting that final shot into the vehicle, ends up stealing that kill away from the other... I forgot the team name. Mindless Outlaws, sorry. So they're going to go ahead and end up being picked off on the rotation into zone. The other Mindless Outlaws team goes out as well. Church now going to secure his team a second place just with the position on this back hill right here. Let's see how many kills this dude's got. So team's got 7 kills. He's going to have to go for the 1v3. Very possible if he goes ahead and plays this one smart, trying to pick them off one by one. See how close these guys are to zone. I think they're going to be just on the very edge right here. They do have that slight incline before the road in front of them. He's making the right maneuver going ahead and smoking it off. He's probably going to go prone, like I said, in that little dip right there. Other than that, Church still has good ground, and he does have the vehicle for hardcover, at least since it's already been blown up. Here comes the zone. And it's just too many people with too many different angles to go for the 1v3. So definitely a nice attempt onto his part. But we're going to go ahead and see a second round victory coming out of Shootout Esports. So congratulations to those guys. And they're going out with 4 plus 8 kills in a first place. So I'm going to go ahead and take some endgame pictures. Guys, go ahead and get our third round set up. We will be coming to you with Sandhawk next round. So stay tuned, and we will be back momentarily. Hi guys, sorry about the late start. Let me go ahead and see if it'll let me get into the game. We're having a plane line going from Tembang all the way to Lakawi. And thank you for the follow, Kale. So a good majority of our team's heading up to the north near Paradise and Camp Bravo. Looks like, what, 2 teams down to the very south? And we're going to have maybe 2 to 3 teams right around the Painan area as well. Other than that, 1, 2, 4 teams heading to the northern island. Hack's going to be making it to Camp Charlie over there first. And we will see Team 6 and Team 18 go ahead and face off between each other, probably just outside of Hatin. Let's go ahead and rotate in over here to Team 25. Currently just in front of them, we're going to be looking at Team 10. And we're going to have a 4v4, so it should be a pretty good battle between these two teams to go ahead and start this one off. We're actually seeing our first couple knocks coming through the kill feed. I'm wondering if this was the teams we saw going towards the Paradise. Actually, it might be the ones down here at Panam. Let's see. Go ahead and catch the tail end of this one. It does look like Druggy is currently knocked, as well as Kataya inside of the compound with them right there. The other through for Team 2, going to be just directly across. It's going to be a tricky crossing for them, considering it's going to be almost completely open. So teammate coming out with the Hail Mary frag, trying to get the lucky knock over here onto, I believe it was Yampy that was in that position before you want to go ahead and rotated back. Otherwise, it looked like it would have been dead on top of him. So in the meantime, since these guys are kind of backing off a little bit, let me check the tail end of this against Team 13. And it does look like Mindless Outlaws going to go ahead and gain themselves 4 kills. Unfortunately, they lost 2 members, almost 3. And they should be good for a little bit. I don't see anybody in their current vicinity. Closest 2 teams going to be to their north, and it's going to be Team 22 and Team 21. So right now, SW going to be on top of 2 of these players. They've got to hear these footsteps at this point. And there it is. They're going to go ahead and get the knock onto him with the Vector. And I'm assuming they think the whole team is right there. We can see Caustic playing back just a little bit. And he's going to go ahead and get the knock onto Jaden. Who just shot a gas can? Cool. So Caustic rotating through the open. So even though he got lucky right there, guys, I don't recommend that. So the correct play, instead of him rotating through the open field, would have been all the way back here. I know it's a little bit longer, but it would have saved his life since there's that dip all the way around. Could have gone all around this line, through that dip back there, and it literally would have brought him all the way to mob. And I promise you, 100%, he would have probably not died using the indirect route, but you just learn from your mistakes. But if you end up rewatching this, dude, that's the rotation you probably should have took in from exactly where you're at. Like I said, you just never, ever, ever want to rotate in the open. It's easy pickings for the teams all around you. And here comes Hacks coming through the kill feed. It does look like they took out a team over where they're at. I didn't catch who it was. It came through just a little bit. Oh, it's TFG. There it is. Wonder if we can go up here and catch the tail end of it. And from what I can see, Hacks coming out victorious over the top of that one. I'm not sure how many members are currently still up for them or not, so let's go ahead and find out. So send it down. I do think they should have no issues getting that revive off, and unfortunately they did lose legit in that exchange. So hopefully they can go ahead and make things work with a 3-man for the rest of this round. So zone now finally coming in, guys. We're going to see some of these teams on the eastern side be forced into each other, making the rotation in. As we can see, we still have some of the members for Team 21 and Team 22 alive up there. They're going to be pushed together, as well as Team 11 and Team 10 right here. Other than that, the rest of our team is going to be spread out in the blue zone to the southeast. And in the meantime, let's go ahead and check in over here with Team 20 and see what's going down between them and Team 5. We're going to go ahead and see Outplay Esports push up right here onto DE. He ends up getting the double knock right there with the AK. And we're going to see Nova at the very top of the hill trying to put some shots down range. But just off to the side right here, we're going to see Claw coming in from the left-hand flank. Let's see if he can go ahead and get some knocks in return for his team. He does have the shots, I believe, right there onto D. I want to say they're moving in for the thirst right now. So he does now make it up to the tree. Bleach going to be farther forward, but does have the line of sight on him as he's making that left. And ends up pre-firing a little bit too late, gave his position away. And now the rest of the team's just going to go ahead and swarm in. Alright, so let's check in with DN1 over here really quick. We do see Team 24 still in the compounds there. Guessing they ended up taking out the other team that was with them that we ended up rotating away from just a couple seconds ago. They're going to have to worry about the duo to their left-hand side, but it is possible they may rotate into the ruins area. Other than that, let's go ahead and check in with Team 11 over here. See a knock coming through the kill feed from Pollux, so let's go ahead and check in with, oh, thought they're on Team 10, but maybe not. I'm going to rotate over here to Team 18 really quick as Hax ends up rotating just over the top of these guys. So this is going to be a battle between Team Strangers and Hax Red. And I'm not even sure Hax knew they were there until one of their guys let off some shots in the direction of one, and I don't think they ended up landing. So I do see some knocks coming out of DN1 right now, and currently Knockout and Funny knocked, and they are going to be going against the last standing member for Team 20 directly in front of them. I believe DE right here ended up getting both of the knocks with, I want to say it was a QBU? I think that's what I remember. So Legit Ray does get Funny up and now makes her rotation over towards a Knockout to go for the revive as well. Ghost Rider is going to have this offset angle just a little bit, but unfortunately DE is not going to be peeking to the left side a whole lot. And here he goes. Oh, open push ended up paying for that one. And they get DE down to just a couple HP. Just wasn't able to get that last shot landed. So he's going to go ahead and heal back up. See what we can see from his view. And Zone is going to go ahead and push to the north. Look at all of these teams over here on this eastern side of this one. This is going to be a ridiculous rotation into the zone. I feel bad for all of these teams over here. And there we go. Knockout's going to go ahead and finish off DE over there, which is now going to give DN1 about 40 seconds to go ahead and make this long trek towards the zone. I do think that they may be fortunate enough to have the compounds on the very tip of the island they're on, maybe inside, but they could have to worry about Team 24 in that location. So right now, Team 14 is going to be holding the cliff side of this one. Definitely going to be a very safe location, knowing nobody is going to be coming up behind you. But I do believe we are going to have a third party over here on the back side of the hill. And one of the members for, I think, Team 21 just ended up being taken down. Yeah, I think it was Storm from what I remember. So, believe it or not, guys, this is quite a lot of teams for the size of this zone, especially since we do have that water in the very center. We are seeing DN1 rotate into the compounds right there on the very edge, just like I thought. They may have to worry about Mindless Outlaws to their right-hand side as they end up trying to rotate forward some more. It does look like Zone is now starting to move in on these guys, but let me go ahead and check in with Kappas right here, see what's going on. And it's going to be the last standing member for Team 21. I'm actually really surprised the team members over there for Team 25 can't see him chilling in the grass right here. Pretty sure, well, is that 100 meters? It's got to be. Yeah, so I would assume he's like chilling in the open to them. I'm pretty sure none of that should be running in around him too well. So we got a waiting game right here between Team 14 and Team 15. Bubba across the bridge, starting things off for them with a knock, but we're going to go ahead and see a trade, and they're going to get a knock onto him in return. It looks like all the teams want to rotate up that right-hand side all the way towards the bridge by head 10. Usually we see quite a few teams try to swim across. I don't know what's too different about tonight, but it looks like everybody wants to just stay along like the coastline. So Peanut ends up getting knocked and thirsted right there by Alex. The rest of the team has gone ahead and dived into the water. Hopefully they have enough breath to go ahead and swim the rest of the way across without popping up. Otherwise, Team 6 going to be right here to go ahead and take advantage of those guys. But we do have another team directly underneath them. This is going to be Team 14 doing the same exact thing. I have a feeling we're going to see quite a bit of that within the next well, if zone time would count down, I believe the zone's already moving in, so goes ahead and takes that one away. Yeah, it's definitely moving in. So not sure with the zone timer. The thing breaks like every time I have a scrim. We're gonna go ahead and see Whale be taken down by the play zone. Hopefully Wi-Fi can go ahead and make his way in. In the meantime, let's go ahead and check in with Kappas right here, trying to go ahead and get the easy kills from people going ahead and swimming through the water. I think he picks himself up a double right there. And spin move into the water, and hopefully he can go ahead and make it to the other side to the zone in time before hitting or being hit by the blue. I think they're being hit by the zone. And let's go ahead and rotate in with these guys one more time. And STR is going to go ahead and pull off the upset. So a bunch coming through the kill feed, and it looked like it came down to a 1v1 once again for DN1. Shootout Esports does have the high ground, but does not have the zone. They're going to go ahead and have to jump off this thing very shortly. They're only going to have about 1 second before the zone starts creeping in. They're going to have to worry about Allen as well as Taco Cass over here on the backside of the compound making the rotation forward. As we can see, they're still going to have a bunch of teams right on the beach line. Capaz somehow staying alive for Team 21, getting all those kills we saw in the water earlier. I think Recoil ended up bouncing out of the water, and he ended up taking him as well. Fortunately enough, I see Team 14 does have one member still up, so hopefully he can go ahead and get them some pretty good placement points to go ahead and keep them in, well, hopefully the top 10. That's normally what everybody tends to aim for. Somebody's rocking one of my all-time favorite weapons in this game, the VSS. Sound like this one might, yeah, coming from Taco Cass. So Capaz ends up being taken down by the play zone, trying to make the rotation in as a solo. And the bad part about a solo is you can't really push in a straight line like you would if you were a team. You kind of have to take the longer way around like almost every single time to try to play that stealthy approach. So sometimes it sucks. I mean, sometimes it's easier. I find sometimes when I have a duo or trio alive instead of a full team, it's easier to get to the end zone for some reason. I'm not really too sure why. But other than that, we're looking at our final five teams, guys. We got a duo over here for Team Strangers. Over there on Team 4, from what I can tell, that's looking like a trio for Shootout Esports. What else do we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4 sexy motherfuckers. And a duo up for Stay Woke, I believe. So with that knock and confirm, I believe that takes out Team Strangers, and Shootout Esports is now going to go ahead and have to push forward. It looks like they've only got 2 smokes down, so hopefully they can go ahead and get something going for them. Otherwise, they're going to have to make a complete open field push. So Mami ends up being taken down on the right-hand side. Santan ends up using the only smoke for cover that they have in front of them. He's going to go ahead and heal up a little bit. And I really hope he's got some more to go ahead and make the trek across the street. Otherwise, this is probably going to be it, guys. And there it is. So, Sexy Motherfucker's going to go ahead and get a first place victory in our third round. I'm going to go ahead and take some end game pictures, guys, and then I'll go ahead and get our fourth and final round set up. And we will be playing Vikindi for our last round. So, stay tuned and we will be back. All right, everybody, welcome back for round number 4, and we are going to play on Bikini. As you can see, all the white shit everywhere, and an absolute horrible fucking line for this map. We're gonna go from, I can't really see, what is that, Vihar, all the way down past Winery, really not giving anybody full access to the northern drops like Coal Mine, Cosmodrome, Trevno Port, and Zabava. It's possible with early shoot drops, we can see people going to maybe the Podvasto area, the cement factory. Um, Definitely make it to Garaka with no issues. But the one thing I found on this map is sometimes it's quite difficult to find a vehicle. Not only do they tend to blend in a lot better than on other maps, but I just don't feel like the spawn rate is that good on this map. I don't know why. So right off the bat, we're going to go ahead and see Team 13 and Team 17 go ahead and face off against one another. They're going to be separated right now by the middle of the street. So it does look like Team 13 is going to have a little bit more of an advantage to go ahead and loot through the compounds. It's not saying the loot's going to be any better. Sometimes loot is shit from compound to compound, and those yellows end up having a lot of good stuff. So really no telling who has what yet. I really don't feel like clicking on each person to go ahead and figure it out. But let's just see who else is currently close to another, since does look like we might wait for a little bit. Let's go ahead and check in with STK over here. We're seeing a notch come out of Apache, and that is going to land onto Legion. They're going to go ahead and get the thirst onto him, which is now going to leave Team 15 down to a 3-man. Acid going to be the closest one to them. Church coming out with a knock onto Beach with the MP5K. And they're going to answer back with the trade with a knock onto Saber. Church going for the revive onto him. Let's go ahead and get a view from this side. So Church ends up pulling that one off, ends up rotating forward, going to the right-hand side, trying to flank around from these guys, or at least try to get a different angle. Acid is literally right on top of these dudes. And here comes shots from Church. He ends up getting a knock onto Apache and does quite a bit of damage right there to Beach. He's going to go ahead and heal up. Definitely the right call. You always want to go ahead and heal up before you go for revive, just in case you end up having to cancel that revive and go into fight mode like right off the bat. So those are the kind of moves that end up saving you in the long run. So I definitely hope whoever doesn't do that already and you're listening, you start doing that. You might thank me later, I promise. So, Hated Saber getting knocked now for the second time, as you guys can see. No helmet, not sure if he's got any kind of vest, but it does look like they went for the trade, getting the knock right here onto Smokey Joe. And with that revive, they're now going to be back up to full strength. And Acid has continued rotating, so he's gotten a little bit farther away. Hopefully this is now giving him the ability to go ahead and get some better loot. Maybe he can go ahead and put up a fight. I'm not really too sure what he had before, though, but couldn't out, or what is this? Yeah, double loot. So should be pretty good loot on this map, though. Vikendi always has really, really good loot anyways. Alright, I just want to see what everyone else is up to before I stick with this one. Let's Let's go ahead and check in with Mindless Outlaws. They are currently going to be up here on top of DN1. And we're going to go ahead and see Spec chilling right here behind the rock. Ends up getting the knock onto Knockout. Spec ends up getting knocked in return. I see Ghost Rider going in for the thirst, but he's going to have to worry about 7 Sins directly behind him. And looks like legit Brit's going to go ahead and get the knock onto him. So that's going to save Ghost Rider from being knocked. And here now comes the rest of the team, and they end up rotating in. Spray's going to get tagged up pretty good. He's down to just a couple HP. See if Ghost Rider can go ahead and put some shots down range, and that is going to be it. That is going to be a squad wipe right there for DN1. So very nice job to those guys. That's going to be 4 kills for them right off the bat. And let's go ahead and rotate in and check in with some other people. Let's go up here with Team 20 and see what's going on with these couple guys. I do see, a couple players for Aqua, not too far away from them. It's taking a little bit. I don't know what it is. I think it's because my phone's getting older. I have an iPhone X. I definitely want to upgrade to the new one if, I guess, the specs are what they say they might rumored to be. If not, I might just... I don't want to go to Android, but... right now they have, more RAM, better screen. There we go, pushed in from Team 20. They go ahead and crash into the side of the compound. Was not able to get the revive up onto Wi-Fi. So that's going to go ahead and be a second knock for them right there. And as you guys can see off in the distance is going to be the last 2 members for Aqua. From what I can tell, looks like Well's going to be rotating down the hill over here and making his way over to that rock. So it does look like they may go ahead and engage. Kind of fizzled out between them two, so I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a little bit, hopefully. Nope, well, nobody else is on top of each other. Zone is moving in, so that's a good note. So we could potentially see some fights soon. It's looking like most of our teams right around the center right here, just outside of Villa. We see Team 10 rotating in just beside Team 4 right now, as they're going ahead and hopping in a vehicle as well. So we could see some fighting from these guys during this rotation. It's definitely the point at which teams are at their most vulnerable. It doesn't really take a whole lot of shots to go ahead and blow a vehicle up, especially when you're piled in at, what are these guys, 3 deep? So we're finally hearing a bunch of shooting pretty much all around us at this point. It's just going to be all the teams trying to rotate in. A lot of the times, if you guys don't know this one already, so if you look at the map, every single time, no matter what, I promise you 100% of the time, one of the 4 corners on this map is always going to have the first pop of zone. So if you can go ahead and stay right around the center area right off the bat, you're pretty much going to be guaranteed to have at least first zone on this map. If not, you'll be like really, really, really close. And then you can just chill, loot up, and then just make your rotation in. But other than that, it's pretty good. And it does look like part of DN1 ended up getting broken up during the middle of that rotation, ends up rotating into a full team. Let's go back here and check in with the rest of them. So it does look like, fortunately enough, it was just one person. So hopefully they can go ahead and keep the trio alive. We still have quite a bit left in this game, still 55 people alive. And we're seeing quite a few spots to the western side still open on this one. Southern side's definitely opened up quite a bit, and we're seeing a lot of the teams more to the north on this zone. But this is the only downfall of Bikini, in my opinion. There are so many compounds that teams really don't have to engage unless they absolutely want to, or if they just make the mistake of stopping at a compound where a team is already at. Um, but literally, there's compounds like everywhere. Adrian going to be the first one down right here for team number 2. 1955 is now going to be the second. Ends up trying to push in from the other side. And we're going to see OPX be taken down right there by Steezy on the other side. So that's going to go ahead and get these guys that look pretty easy for them. They worked in tandem between each other. So very nice job right there to Steezy as well as Violence. So zone now almost all the way in. I kind of want to see a hard shift on this one. I want to see everybody get pushed into a rotation to get some action. And we're going to see this one stay central. Even the teams that we have really don't have to push together. There's still so many compounds within the circle. It's ridiculous. Let's check in with Mindless Outlaws over here. Richie going down first, ends up trying to play some shots onto one of the members for was it? Well, that was quick. Well, ends up getting the finish onto Richie, but the rest of the team storms in and takes him out not soon after. Not sure who had the MK though. Spook ends up open field pushing towards these compounds, ends up being taken down and thirsted. That's going to leave Loki by himself at the top of the hill right here, and Snippy over to the left-hand side behind a rock. So it sounds like we may have a push forward right here from Team 25 off of the knock right here on Alec. And they're going to go ahead and place some shots right there into Royal while he attempts to move in for the revive. Barely gets away on that one with just a couple HP left on him. And they're also now going to get a knock onto Bricks as well. And Smokey Joe off to the right-hand side, placing some shots onto... It looks like an FOZ. I can't really tell with the special characters, but ends up making it so they can't get that revive either. And Molly coming too high up for that one, landing on top of the roof. And is Royal going for that revive? Yep, so they're now going to get back up to 3-man. You really only have about, I'd say, about 5 seconds to go ahead and complete a push forward if you're going to go ahead and push in off of some knocks. If you go ahead and hesitate just even a little bit, there's really no point in pushing after wasting like 1 or 2 seconds after a knock. You might as well wait, get another knock, and then your time really resets after that. So over here, checking in with HoloCast, right in the middle, throwing a nade towards some of the members for Team 4. As you can see, Shootout Esports going to be in the top and bottom. Here comes a third party from Team 20 on the right-hand side. And that nade from Shootout Esports almost landed directly on top of him. It would have been time, what, that just half of a second, maybe a second, a little less. It might have just had that little bit of a distance more over that rock to get the knock onto him. Uh-oh, here comes Hacks out too. They end up rotating into the area. Do they end up stopping? And at least that one's going to continue going. And the rest are just going to continue to rotate around wide. So I believe that's going to be a third knock directly in front of this. It's now only down to Ranger. He ends up being third party by the top of the hill directly behind him. So it's definitely a lot of third partying happening right here around this bend. So we have the team up there, 30 partying like crazy. We have Holocaust back here trying to take out Shootout Esports. And then Zerixel ends up rotating in as well, just causing havoc all over here for team number 4. What's up, Puppet? How you doing? What's up, Winnie? How you doing tonight? So we still have 12 teams still up, and we're seeing quite a bit of them right here on the southern side. We're going to probably see 1, 2, 3 teams have to face off against each other. The eastern side pretty jammed up as well. The only thing that's currently open is going to be this whole entire western side, depending on where Team 6 decides to go ahead and stop. But we still have that big gap in between them. Hopefully DN1 doesn't continue to go ahead and rotate right in. They maybe get lucky going in right in between the two teams. But let's go ahead and try to finish this one off before we rotate away. And we're going to go ahead and see Holocaust go down right there by Cosmo over there on the top of the hill. And main going down now as well. This one's going to be going to Team 25 from what I can tell. And Apache's going to go ahead and get the finish. So we're looking at 2 knocks. They're just going to be outside of the zone. I think they're going to want to hop in that vehicle, just go ahead and make a rotation in. But he's literally just going to be on the very edge of the zone, makes the right call, diving behind that tree. And he may be open to Team 21, but I think they may be distracted healing up as well. But at least their angle looks to be broken. And I take that back. He came out the other side. So that is unfortunately going to be it for DN1 in our final round tonight, guys. And that brings us down to our final 7 teams. We're going to be seeing quite a few over here on the northwestern side. Let me go ahead and check in with Cyanide real quick on this side to see what's going on. And they're definitely going to have to watch their left-hand side over here. We can see Hacks just above them. It does look like they're going to be piling into a vehicle going ahead and making a late rotation into the zone. So we're probably going to be seeing Team 19 disregard them and probably just make a beeline right around this left-hand side, right towards Zone 2. But they might run into these 2 teams directly in front of them. So that might be their resistance from getting in very quick. So Vex coming out with a knock right there onto Beans. What is that? Kappa's is going to be directly in front of them behind the rock. He's going to be peeking that right-hand side in just a second, and he's going to land some shots onto Vex, and then proceeds to get fired upon by at least 2 of the players from Team 19. I don't think Beans is going to make it. He's definitely going to bleed out to the blue zone right there. Hopefully, Kappa's ends up having some health, but wow, Cyanide definitely barely escapes the blue zone. And play zone ends up getting to him right there. They still had a distance to go to the zone, but Hacks right here in front of them, going ahead and keeping them from just rotating in. And that's going to be it. Vex going to be the last one up for them, and that one's going to go to Broda. So we're going to go ahead and try to get into the fight over here onto the left-hand side of this one. Cosmonaut now looking to the opposite side, placing some shots over here onto the Hacks team. But originally, they were looking over here at Sexy MFers. So they're going to go ahead and leave him behind. Definitely the right call. Go ahead and get to zone as early as possible. And it looks like they're just going to go ahead and try to move into a rotation where they can go ahead and gatekeep Hacks. And here comes a third party across the lake. And Cosmo now going down, and Broda ends up getting the finish right there with the molly. DE somehow makes it back down to the ice right here, ends up using the smoke. And it is now going to be a fight over here between Team 6 and Team 9 to make the rotation into the zone. So Taco Cast is going to go ahead and push forward, tosses one through the window before approaching. Let's go ahead and get a bird's eye view onto how this one ends up going down. It's definitely a smart choice to go ahead and heal up. Fortunately enough, there's still a knock directly in front. And he does get a knock right there, and I believe that is going to be it. So they're going to go ahead and take down Team 6 right there, and they're going to have about, what, 45 seconds to go ahead and make the next rotation into the zone. They do have a couple of the shacks right there, but I believe they're not going to be all the way into this one. They're going to have to push more to, I believe, either the open spot right there or where DE's at, or just try to rotate around and use these trees for some cover, but they may end up running right into Hacks. Allen one tapping the AK, gets the knock onto Gray, and Allen coming out with the knock onto Legit just not too long after. Broda ends up trying to rotate down away from the zone, and he ends up getting tagged up pretty good. He's just down to a couple HP right now, and that is going to be it. I believe he's going to end up being taken down by the blue zone. So now we are looking at our final two teams at this point, guys. What is that? What happened to Tiger? Did he end up getting knocked? I'm guessing plays on knock. And DE gets tagged up really good, just barely peeking that window. And ends up jumping out the backside as Allen ends up pushing up. He ends up getting the knock onto him. So this is what I'm talking about, guys. If a whole team tries to throw you at once, you try to turn it into a 1v1 situation, exactly like he did right there. Pollux is going to go ahead and stay back just a little bit, use the rock back there for some cover, proning behind it. That nade definitely does quite a bit of damage on DE. So he's going to go ahead and smoke his position up really quick. And hopefully zone ends up moving momentarily. Right now the timer's frozen and zone's not going anywhere. Oh, he's not too sure where he's at. He thought he was to the left-hand side right in front of the shack, and he happened to be behind the boat right in the middle of the lake right there. So nice attempt right there on the part of DE, but just wasn't able to get it right there at the end. He did get his team 6 kills on top of Cosmo's 7, so the two of them definitely killed it. Other than that, very nice job to VQ with a victory in our 4th and final round tonight, guys. And unfortunately, that is going to be it for tonight, though, guys. I appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. I'll have scores out probably early tomorrow morning, and then I'll go ahead and open up, check in. Probably before ESL tomorrow, since everybody will be awake by then. But once again, guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all the follows and everything tonight. And I will see you again next Wednesday.